Hi friends, it's Terri Gaines, independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. In this video tutorial, I'm going to share a fun fold card that features both sides of the Designer Series paper. For the tutorial, I'm going to be using the Floral Impressions 12x12 Designer Series paper. This is part of Stampin' Up's May 2025 online exclusives, and it will be available for customers on May 6th. This paper is absolutely beautiful. It coordinates with all of these exclusive Stampin' Up colors, including two of Stampin' Up's 2025-2027 in colors, Darling Duckling and Strawberry Slush. This paper, as I mentioned, is absolutely beautiful. It's double-sided, so you have floral prints on one side and a beautiful background on the other side. I'm going to be featuring this Designer Series paper for the fun fold. Here's the second print. You receive two each of the 6 double-sided prints, and this is the back side, which is absolutely beautiful. This is part of a suite, and the suite includes a bundle, and I have those products to share with you also in this tutorial. So this is the front and the back side. This is also one of the prints. This is the front side. Just look at the beautiful rich colors there, and that's the back side. Here's another print, the front side and the back side. Any of these prints would work for this video tutorial, or for the fun fold I'm going to share in this video tutorial. This is the front side and that's the back side. To embellish the card, I have cut out 2 of these flowers. I have cut out one of them that's just on the edge. I'm going to show you how you can utilize that. A couple of the leaves. And then I also used one of the other prints here. Let's see, let me grab this one. I trimmed out one of the flowers on the sides here. So I trimmed out this flower right here, and that's going to be part of the embellishments. Now, I mentioned it is part of a suite, and I also want to mention that these are the colors that Stampin' Up put on the back of the packaging. I'm actually going to bring in the Early Espresso because I wanted a dark card base, and I felt that the Early Espresso really brought out the richness of these colors. So I'm going to be using Early Espresso. So these are the colors, as I mentioned, that Stampin' Up has listed. I also mentioned it's part of a suite. So let me show you the bundle first. There is a stamp set and coordinating dies that are absolutely beautiful. I have not had time to create my little sampler yet. I like to actually stamp all the images, cut out all the dies, and kind of see how I like to work with those. So I will be doing that in the very near future. But look at all of these dies. You have 25 dies. Some of them cut out the floral images or all of the images here. And then some are actually just some builder dies. So it's going to be so fun to create with the bundle. The suite is one code number that gets you everything, or you can purchase the items individually. These are the embellishments. These are the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Glimmer or gems. There is a glimmer to them. They are really, really pretty. So those are the embellishments in the suite. There's also some of these are the foil frames and labels. So you get 2 sheets of these, and you've got labels and then these gold frames. So it's very versatile. So 2 each of the 3 sheets that they have here. Plus there's an embossing folder. This is the pressed flowers embossing folder, and hopefully it shows up in the camera. Just look at that beautiful impression it leaves, a texture. So that is all the items in the suite. Now, I have done some stamping ahead of time. I used the stamp set that I just shared with you. That's part of the suite. I used the thanks and the for being there for part of my preparation for this tutorial. And then I also brought in a stamp set that's called You Are Remarkable, and I stamped this image here. So I did the stamping ahead of time. I used Early Espresso for my ink choice, and I've got my papers cut ahead of time. So before we start on the papers, I'm going to actually put this portion together. What I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to put these frail cutout pieces. A lot of times I leave white space, but because this floral image was right on the edge of the paper, there was no white space, and I wanted to utilize that. So I'm going to show you how I would utilize that. But before I go any further, I want to talk about what I've done for my die cutting here. I did this work ahead of time. Now, I told you I have 6 additional samples. All of them are using these amazing dies. These are the textured note dies. They are part of the textured note bundle. So this is the stamp set. These are the dies. You can get them bundled together for 10% savings or order them separately. So I have used this one and this one for, I think, most of my projects. I also use the smaller ones here. So stay tuned for those additional cards I'm going to share with you. So I die cut that ahead of time, I stamped ahead of time, and I adhere that. So what I want to show you is how I would put these frail cutout flowers on this image. So a lot of times I use mini glue dots, but when it gets this small, I do want to attach those. So I use the multi-purpose liquid glue. I use my silicone craft mat, and I put a little bit of glue on here. Now I have dedicated one of my sponge daubers to this process. It is very tacky. I just save it and I keep using it. It's okay that it's tacky. You just, when you're going to use it again, just put plenty of adhesive or liquid glue on there. And then what you can do is just tap it on here. Be sure you use your silicone craft mat, because that's going to help control that adhesive mess that you're really creating. It's staying on your silicone craft mat. When this dries, it peels right off. Now I've just dabbed a little bit on here. I'm going to have this go over right on the side here, have it wrapped to the top, and there you go. That's how I'm going to attach that. This is the element for the front of the card. Now you also have a inside sentiment, 2 inside sentiments. So this is going to be my next one. So what I have here are 2 leaves that I cut out, and I also did not leave white space around here. And I'm going to also attach this. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to take some more adhesive. I'll do the same technique here, and I'm going to just take this one and just put it right in the middle. I'm not going to worry about the petals on the side. I'm just going to just put it right in the middle. I'm going to just attach this right here. So this is kind of a decorative panel also with the sentiment. Now I feel these are okay not being tacked down. They're not going to tear like that little branch or stem would. But I also left no adhesive underneath the petals, so I could take my leaves. I'm just going to put a little dab of greenery or a little dab of adhesive on the greenery, and I'm going to just tuck this underneath. That way I can put the flower on first and then decide where I want to put the leaves. If I put the leaves on first, then I'm guessing where all of that placement should be. So that's what I'm going to do for that, and that might be too much adhesive. I'm going to dab a little bit off. This is kind of tricky how much adhesive you put down here, and I'm just going to put both those leaves just right there. So that is, when you open the card, this is the next sentiment you see. And then this will be the final sentiment. I'm going to leave a little space here to sign my name and write a little message to who I'm giving it to. And for this one, I do want to really attach most of this image. So again, I'm going to just dab this glue on. A little bit goes a long ways, and I have some white space left on that image, and that's okay. And I'm choosing to put this way over to the edge because I cut this flower out of the edge of the designer series paper. Utilize all of that. You don't want any of that paper to go to waste. And this leaves me a little bit of space to write a little message, and I just really sign my name. Now, as I mentioned, as this dries, you can just peel that off, just save that, and reuse that dedicated sponge dauber for next time you want to use it in that fashion. So those are already prepared. So I talked about this. I'm going to show this multiple times as I share additional samples. So we have a card base and designer series paper in our panels. That's the items you need for your project to duplicate this card. In the text portion of this video and in the text of my YouTube, or not my YouTube, this is the YouTube, The text portion of my blog post, where I'll show photos of everything, will be the measurements. So the card base is 6 3/4 by 5 1/2, and we want to score that at 4 1/4. So I'm going to take my Simply Scoring tool, push this right into the corner up against both walls, hold on to it, and then take the large end of my stylus and score that. And then I'm going to fold this. So the small panel is on the front, and this is on the inside, or this is the inside. Now for the Designer Series paper, this is 10 1/4 by 4 1/2. It is scored at, let me first say, when you score it, you have the side you want visible. Majority of it's going to be visible is up. And this is going to be the secondary side. So have that up, put it into the corner here, and it's going to be scored at 2 inches. I use the large end and I just softly score it. If you use the small end and push hard, you're gonna tear and rip the paper. So 2 inches, at 3 inches, at 5 1/2 inches, and at 7 7/8. So those are the score lines. Now, when I score Designer Series paper, I also like to flip it over, just do this rotation and rescore it on the other side. A couple reasons. It's burnishing both sides, so it's going to help it not tear. When paper tears, you're going to get a crack and you're going to see the white core on the inside. So I like to do that on both sides. Now, the folds are going to be mountain, mountain, valley, valley. I like to start at the valley. I like to start at this end and find that score line and fold it. I just use my fingers. I don't use the bone folder. I just take my fingers. I'm also going to use this wall here because we want everything to be aligned. So I'm going to push that up to the wall, push this up to the wall, and just softly fold that. So that's a valley. This is be a valley also, and it's right at this spot right here. So what I do is I hold it like this, take this one and fold it over. Now the reason I like to do that is maybe this is buckling a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to then push over here and really refold that score line because we want this to fold perfectly. We want no buckling. So I fold this one first, softly fold that, go like that, softly burnish that, fold this one down, burnish that, and re-burnish this other side, okay? So we have our 2 valleys there. Now these 2 are mountain, so I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna flip it this way and create that mountain, and I am pushing it all up against that wall. That's my way of getting things aligned. Everybody's gonna have a technique that works best for them. But if I push that all up to the wall, then everything should be flush here. We don't want anything out of skew there. So mountain, mountain, valley, valley. So that's how this card's going to be folded. So now we're done with the Simply Scoring. And now we're going to adhere this. Now, when we adhere this, we have to be careful. We don't want any buckling. We want it to close and close flat. So I found the best way to do this is to adhere this panel to this front card base. So envision that this card is going to be adhered like this. We want to make sure that this placement is correct and this placement is correct. I start with this placement. If we were to envision how this is placed, this fold is right up to the edge. We have equal spacing here and equal spacing here, and that's what we want to start out with. So I'm going to turn this over, put my adhesive on this side and this side of the panel. So it's just right here. Now what I like to do is take this fold and just let it rest right on the card base. So just let it rest there. So the fold is resting on the card edge, and I'm trying to hold this up to the camera so you can see at the same time. Ideally, you want to work with that on the table, but get that to be equal spacing on this side and that side. And let's see if I can do that this way. Maybe I'll just hold it like this. And then I need to hold it on the table. You'll need to hold it on the table as well when you do this. There we go. So now I have that adhered, and you can see that it folds right there on that score line. And it's a little bit more on the bottom, a little bit less on the top, but that's okay. It's hard to do that with the camera view. But you know what? Only you and I notice that. The person I give this card to may never notice that. That's the beauty of paper crafting. So this is the first step to get attached. Now what I like to do is open this up. Now this score line was right against the edge there. Then you have another score line. We're going to fold on that score line. So now you have a little bit of this paper. Doesn't show up very well, but there you go. You have this little expansion here. You want that. Then you're going to fold this down and that down like that. You're going to have a little bit of gap like that. That's expected. That's what we want with the measurements I created for this. Now what we're going to do is put our adhesive right here and close the card, and that's going to prevent any buckling of this fun fold card. So put your adhesive on this panel, close the card, and there you have the base of the fun fold. So it shows this part of the designer series paper along with this designer series paper. Absolutely beautiful. I like the dark color to pop out the little details of all of these floral images. So now what we're going to do is attach, this one is going to be on the front. Well, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to show you how you will do it when you recreate this card with the product that you have. So I just love how that showcases through, and these dies work perfect for the measurements I've created with this card. So I have seen this fun fold out and about for a long time, but I recreated it with some measurements that I felt worked out good quite a while ago. Actually, it was May 2024 when I created this fun fold card. So the initial idea was shared online, or maybe I got it on a swap, but I've got all of that. So in saying that, let's attach this. We got a couple ways of doing it. You can use dimensionals to attach this, or you can use your adhesive. For this one, I'm going to use adhesive because here's the way you're going to decide. Let me kind of show you how this is going to go. This is going to be equal spacing on all four sides. This panel is only going to be attached to this guy, this panel right here. So what we want to do is make sure that you have enough area for your adhesive. I think I'll be okay as long as I go really close. So what I do is I look at the score line, I place my element that I'm going to attach right up to the score line, because that's my guide. That tells me where I start my adhesive and where I stop my adhesive, and I gotta go really close to that score line. If you use dimensionals, you can put one row of dimensionals. So I have my adhesive there. It's hard to see on the camera, but now I can go and place this equal spacing all the way around it. And as I press that down and you open it up, it's only attached to that section, so it pops out like that. So now you have this part visible. So when you give it to the person you're giving it to, they open it, they see that pops out. Now they see this. This is where I'm going to put this. Now these sentiments work really well together. As I mentioned, these are from the stamp set that is part of the suite, and this is from the You Are Remarkable stamp set. So you are remarkable in every single way. Thanks for being there. So that is a really nice combination, I believe. Well, I know it is. So I like working with these two stamp sets together. So I'm going to place this right here. And as I mentioned, this is where I'm going to sign the card. They're going to open that up, and this is going to be here. So I tried to bring the flowers into these die cuts for the area of the designer series paper that I was placing these die cuts. So I brought in this flower here because it's right here, and I brought that one in here and that one in there. So it's just how you can blend all of those beautiful colors together in those flowers. So I just love this fun fold. So as I mentioned, I have some additional projects to show you. Now, if I fail to mention, these are part of the March online exclusives, and on my blog I will have a flyer that you can download that has all the new online exclusive products that that are available. So the next two cards I'm going to show you are in Stampin' Up's mini catalog, or the product is in Stampin' Up's January through April mini catalog, and this is the Story Moments Designer Series paper. So for the two samples, the outside sentiments, I used this coordinating stamp set. It's Storybook Friends. And for the inside, I again used this stamp set. I'll show you that in a moment. The Designer Series paper I used is the Story Moments 12 by 12. There are double-sided prints. These four are absolutely adorable. You've got gardening and bunnies and floral, and then you got the back side. You have the fifth one is this print. You can cut these apart for panels, and this is the back side. Now the sixth double-sided print are two sheets of all of these die cuts. So I actually used this image, but I cut around the space on this one. And then for this one, I used this image. I did not cut around it, but I put that on, I'm going to forget the name of that. I will have it in the video text portion, the colors that I use for those. So let me show you how those cards turned out. So this one, hello friend, you are remarkable in every single way, and then you sign the card there. This is basic beige. That's the color I used there, and the little butterflies from the Designer Series paper. And this one, I cut that little bunny out, and then I have thanks so very much. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. So just beautiful sentiments and fun cards to create. This card I used the Floral Delight 12 by 12 paper. I cut out the decorative images from this Designer Series paper, and I used this print for the fun fold. And again, I shared with you, I used all of these die cuts on all of the panels I used. And for this sentiment, I used the Loveliest Tree. I just love this for this 4 sentiments and this beautiful tree image, and it goes well with this sentiment. And then I have a sample created with the Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper. This paper is currently not available at the time I'm recording this tutorial, but it will be available again the week of March 24th. And you have these die cuts. Let me show you this paper. This is the double-sided. It's specialty because it's got a gold foil and because it has die cuts. So you get 2 each of these 4 double-sided prints. You get 2 each of these beautiful images that you can cut apart for cards and tags. This is the back side. And 2 each of these die cuts. And I'm showing you this one on the card. And look at all the beautiful images there. So this is this card, and you open it up, and I added another embellishment there and a place to sign the card and write your message. Just a fun card there. Now for this card, I used some Designer Series paper that was released with online exclusives. It's called Mixed Media, and this is just beautiful Designer Series paper, again double-sided, 2 each of the 6 double-sided designs. I use this print. This print has a design all the way across the bottom and really frames the whole 12 by 12. So this is a great way to showcase that. For this one, I just put the panel up on the top in that white space. So I have congratulations from the Loveliest Tree stamp set. I used the sentiment again from You Are Remarkable, and this really showcases that Designer Series paper, and you can sign your card right up there in the white space. Just love this Designer Series paper. As you can tell, I'm a fan of Designer Series paper. The last card I have to share coordinates. I used the stamp set that coordinates with this paper. It's called Mixed Floral. It does have dies that will cut out all of those images, and I will share the codes for all of these products and the bottom of my video in the text portion, along with on the bottom of my blog post. So that's what I use for the stamping. The sentiment is from Lovely as a Tree, and the Designer Series paper is from the Woven Texture. This paper, you get 3 each of these 4 double-sided designs. You have this design, you have this design. This is the one I used for the card. You have this one and this one. So 12 in the package, so 3 each of the 4 double-sided designs. So we have this card, and it opens up, and you can see I just have the element popping up, not a panel. And then I have the sentiment and a place to sign the card. So there's so much you can do with this fun fold card. Now I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As I mentioned, I will have the text portion or the measurements in the text portion of this video. In the text portion of this video, I also will link you to my blog post so you can see photos of all of these cards. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I appreciate everybody who watches my tutorials and would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share the tutorials as well. If you have any questions, please reach out. Take care and happy creating.